Number 10. Sonya Stahl. Early on the morning of October the 10th of 2021, Florida woman Sonya Stahl was sitting in the car while her friend confronted an ex-boyfriend about overdue child support payments at a house on 56th Street in Ocala. The friend, 22-year-old Alexa Newton, allegedly became violent with her ex, Timothy Mack, eventually trying to run him over with her car. 24-year-old Mack opened fire in the direction of the oncoming vehicle in what he claimed was an attempt to disable the engine and prevent it from colliding with him. However, one of the bullets struck Stahl in the chest, killing her. Mack was reportedly out on parole for a previous felony charge when he committed the shooting that inadvertently resulted in the death of an innocent bystander. He was arrested on charges of possession of a firearm by a felon and tampering with evidence. Newton was also taken into custody for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery. During the case's legal proceedings, prosecutors ultimately deemed Mack's claims of self-defense to be valid, and he thus wasn't charged in connection to Stahl's killing. Number 9. Christopher Scott Griffith. A young Ohio mother was arrested on August the 31st of 2022 in connection to an innocent bystander's death outside the Spring Grove Village Kroger in Cincinnati. 24-year-old Tavia Chapman had dropped Jawan Lunsford off at the grocery store and was waiting for him in the car when she began looking through his cell phone. She reportedly found what she considered to be inappropriate text messages Lunsford had exchanged with her sister. In a fit of rage, Chapman used her van to run her boyfriend over as he exited the store a short time later, also plowing into an uninvolved pedestrian in the process. Following the collision, the young woman got out and began raining punches down upon Lunsford, all while the couple's 8-month-old child sat unattended in the vehicle. The bystander Chapman struck was rushed to the hospital where he ultimately passed away from his injuries. It was reported that 58-year-old Christopher Scott Griffith had been walking into the store with the assistance of a cane when Chapman's van suddenly hit him. The young woman was arrested and charged with several felonies, including 2 counts of felonious assault and 1 count of child endangering. A murder charge was also added upon Griffith's death. While Chapman awaited her criminal trial, her infant child was taken into the custody of the Hamilton County Department of Job and Family Services. Number 8. Ashley McGill. On the morning of August the 27th of 2022, Oregon woman Ashley McGill was waiting for the first bus of the day at the corner of Southeast Stark Street and 133rd Avenue in Portland when she was struck by a wayward street racer. Portland police gathered from eyewitnesses that a pair of cars had been racing down Stark Street at about 5:30 a.m. when one of them lost control and careened into the bus stop where the ill-fated bystander was sitting. A medical examination conducted in the incident's aftermath determined that McGill had likely died instantly due to the speed at which the vehicle had been traveling. As of the latest developments, the case was still actively under investigation and the police hadn't yet made any arrests. On September the 1st of 2022, dozens of family members and friends gathered at the crash site to commemorate the victim. Number 7. Veronique Allen. The police in Bogalusa, Louisiana, were alerted to a drive-by shooting committed in the 1400 block of Main Street at around midday on August 23rd of 2022. It was subsequently reported that an innocent bystander had been mistakenly gunned down in her living room after several bullets were fired into her home by a passing car. The victim, 50-year-old Veronique Allen, was a mother of 4 and grandmother of 7, who had become a fixture of the community as an entrepreneur and hairdresser. She'd reportedly been getting her hair done at her mother's Main Street house when a stray bullet fatally struck her in the head. As of recent updates on the matter, the authorities were still trying to ascertain the motive behind the shooting. Investigators did, however, identify the license plate number of the SUV involved in the drive-by, which was spotted traveling along Interstate 12 towards Lafayette later on the day of the incident. The suspects abandoned the vehicle and fled on foot and hadn't yet been identified as per the latest developments. Number 6. John Battle. On March the 3rd of 2022, gunfire broke out near a Shell gas station along Covington Highway in DeKalb County, Georgia. Investigators later detailed how an argument had erupted between a group of people at the gas station who abruptly started shooting at each other. Caught in the crossfire was 28-year-old John Battle, a father who'd reportedly stopped to purchase some juice. Although he hadn't been involved in the initial dispute, Battle was struck by a bullet as he attempted to drive away from the chaos. The man's girlfriend and child were in the vehicle when it subsequently crashed, but they were said to have escaped with only minor injuries. Battle, meanwhile, succumbed to his gunshot wounds. Local police reviewed surveillance footage to identify the individuals involved in the fight that led to the innocent bystander's death. It was reported that 2 arrests had been made in connection to the fatal incident, including that of an unnamed 22-year-old who allegedly confessed to his involvement. Number 5. Margarita Brooks. In August of 2019, Officer Ravinder Singh of the Arlington Police Department in Texas responded to a report of an unconscious woman lying in a grassy area near Collins Street and Lamar Boulevard. As the officer's body camera subsequently recorded, the woman's unrestrained dog charged towards him as he began calling out to her. Singh pulled out his service weapon and opened fire at the onrushing animal, which was struck by at least one of the 3 bullets shot. Another round inadvertently struck the woman identified as 30-year-old Margarita Brooks in the chest. She was taken to a hospital but later died from her injuries. In the aftermath, Officer Singh faced heavy criticism for what was widely considered a reckless decision to brandish his firearm to neutralize Brooks's dog, a lab mix that reportedly weighed about 40 pounds. He resigned from the force amid an administrative investigation into his actions on the day of the shooting. In September of 2020, a Tarrant County grand jury chose to indict Singh on a charge of negligent homicide, to which he pleaded not guilty, claiming self-defense. In addition to the criminal charges, the former officer faced a $2 million federal civil rights lawsuit filed by the victim's family in the summer of 2021. Number 4. Lonnie Blue Jr. In March of 2016, Mississippi police made the public aware of a high-speed chase that had resulted in the death of an innocent bystander. According to Jackson Police Chief Lee Vance, the pursuit had been initiated by members of the Clinton Police Department after a shoplifting suspect, identified as Donnell Johnson, had fled from the authorities. The chase, which spanned 12 miles in total, eventually tore through West Jackson, prompting the city's police department to scramble in its attempt to contact its Clinton-based counterpart about the situation. In the end, Johnson plowed head-on into a vehicle being operated by Lonnie Blue Jr., who was ultimately pronounced dead at the scene. After being treated at the University of Mississippi Medical Center, Johnson was taken into custody on charges that included second-degree murder. In the wake of the incident, Chief Vance was critical of the Clinton Police Department and its handling of the situation, which he deemed reckless. In a press release, Vance stated, "They came into our city on a chase we did not condone, nor did we participate in. We value life, not property." Number 3. Barry Fields. Shortly after 5 p.m. on September the 18th of 2021, a shooting broke out on the 600 block of Astor Street in Norristown, Pennsylvania. Montgomery County authorities later described the incident as a Wild West shootout, which resulted in the death of 51-year-old Barry Fields. The latter hadn't been involved in the dispute that precipitated the outbreak of gunfire, but had reportedly been sitting on his front porch when the shooting erupted nearby. A stray bullet struck Fields in the head, killing him instantly. Shortly thereafter, investigators identified Brandon Darden, aged 25, and Joshua Aguadillo Jr., aged 20, as 2 of the individuals involved. Both men were charged with first-degree murder upon being taken into police custody. It was reported that 23-year-old Edwin Elah Cruz and 16-year-old Giovanni Elah were eventually arrested by Norristown police in connection to the incident as well. Darden ultimately had his murder charges dropped, but pleaded guilty to illegal possession of a firearm, leading to a sentence of 5 to 10 years in state prison. Number 2. Amber Campbell. A drive-by shooting in Hollywood claimed the life of Amber Campbell on the afternoon of August the 22nd of 2020. The incident occurred at about 1:30 p.m. after Campbell had crossed over to the other side of Fletcher Court to speak with a neighbor who was out walking his dogs. A car came screeching past and one of its occupants opened fire, killing both Campbell and her neighbor, 29-year-old Denzel Williams. Initial reports on the matter indicated that the latter had been the likely target of the shooting because he was set to testify as a witness in an upcoming criminal trial. Campbell, however, simply found herself in the wrong place at the wrong time. A doula by trade, she was survived by 3 children who were left without both of their parents, as Campbell's husband had succumbed to an undisclosed illness only 4 months earlier. Williams, described as a hard-working family man, reportedly left behind 2 children of his own. Number 1. Gildardo Parrales, Gracia. In the late evening hours of May the 1st of 2022, as the city of Anaheim's Cinco de Mayo Carnival at La Palma Park was wrapping up, a shooting erupted as crowds were leaving for the night. According to local police, a fight between a group of teens was what precipitated the gunfire, which left an innocent festival goer in critical condition. The victim, 36-year-old Gildardo Parrales Gracia, was rushed to an Orange County hospital where he eventually succumbed to his injuries. 4 teenagers were detained at the scene, including an unnamed 17-year-old who was believed to have been the shooter. The latter was arrested on suspicion of murder. Gracia had reportedly been attending the carnival with his friend, No Avia, and his family when he tragically got caught in the crossfire of a dispute in which he had absolutely no involvement. Thanks for watching. Would you rather hear gunshots nearby while shopping at the mall, or run out of gas in a sketchy area where the nearest gas station is several miles away? Let us know in the comments section below.